The Boeing 757 is one of the most legendary airliners in history, beloved by enthusiasts and crews alike for its excellent performance and distinctive engine sound. The jet was never the most popular airliner when it was being marketed, and Boeing ended production back in 2004 due to a lack of orders in favor of concentrating on the 737. So why might it still be irreplaceable 4 decades later? Today, there still isn't an aircraft in production that can fully replace the 757. Boeing offered the 737NG initially, with the 737 MAX serving this role today, but most 737 models are too small and lack the 757's capability. Elsewhere, Airbus has long sold the A321, but this aircraft is also compromised compared to the 757. The 757 was mainly designed to serve 2 missions. The first was to succeed the 727 as Boeing's large narrow body, slotting above the 737. Crucially, one of the 727's defining attributes during its heyday was excellent short-field performance, and the 757 would need to retain this capability. At the same time, there were also a significant number of first-generation narrow-body quadjets operating longer domestic routes within the US in the early 1980s, and so the 757 was sized up to replace these aircraft. The 757-200 isn't much longer than the 727-200, but it was a significantly longer cabin. It has massive wings, while its engines are extraordinarily powerful to improve field performance, and it was designed to use short runways while carrying enough fuel for a transcontinental flight with high payloads. This also gave the aircraft transatlantic range if loaded with fewer passengers, a capability which airlines began to exploit in the 1990s as ETOPS became widespread. The original A321-100 was range limited, as were early A321-200s, but these planes were nearly the same size as the 757, and so airlines could fit nearly the same number of passengers onto an A321. European airlines quickly adopted the A321, which burned less fuel than the 757, making it the more attractive option as a short-range, high-capacity shuttle. This was how many airlines used 757s. Later on, Airbus began improving the A321-200 to add range, making it more useful for longer missions such as US transcontinental routes or West Coast to Hawaii routes. In 2017, the A321neo entered service, adding range while cutting fuel burn. Meanwhile, Boeing is working on getting the 737 MAX 10 into service, which has a higher capacity than prior 737 models, while having a range of 3,100 nautical miles or 5,740 kilometers. While later A321-200s and the A321neo are excellent replacements for the 757 on shorter missions, one of the defining characteristics of the 757 is its transatlantic range. In 2018, Airbus introduced the A321LR, which has a higher gross weight and 3 auxiliary center tanks as standard. This gives it a range of roughly 4,000 nautical miles or 7,400 kilometers, and the aircraft is already widely used by carriers for transatlantic flights. But while the A321LR is transatlantic capable, it does come with some compromises. As such, Airbus has released the newer A321XLR, which includes another gross weight bump, a new inboard flap design, a stronger structure to support the higher weight, and a new integrated rear center tank which has more fuel capacity than 3 ACTs while taking up less space. With this, the A321XLR has more range than the 757 while having essentially the same passenger capacity, burning less fuel. And so in many ways the 757 appears to have been fully replaced, as the A321neo family matches nearly all of its capabilities depending on the model. Strikingly, however, there is still no large narrow-body on sale that matches the 757's short-field capability. Instead, the airliners that match on this aspect are the much smaller Airbus A319-100 and Boeing 737-700. They are able to use the same runways and operate the same routes as the 757, but they won't carry anywhere near the same payload. Thus, you can see how the 757 fulfilled a useful role when it was first on sale, and no aircraft in production can match all of its capabilities. For short-field performance, the A320neo and 737 MAX 8 are sufficient for any airline's needs, and they operate nicely alongside A321neos or 737 MAX 10s, respectively. So while there is no true replacement for the 757, a narrow body that could do practically everything, this simply isn't what airlines want today, and there's no indication that there's true demand for such a precise replacement. But what do you think? Let us know by leaving a comment. And be sure to check out Simple Flying's flight tracker. From live alerts and data on commercial, military and government flights, it goes way beyond your standard tracker. It was built specifically for AvGeeks, free and live, right at your fingertips. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.